Nếu tôi chỉ hai ấy thôi. Ô, nó chế bây giờ muốn ca lúc họ chua nó nữa phải chạy là lú chế nó chạy là thô phải chị
bây giờ một
để
chua
muốn
đó
ca lúc họ
nó
chua nó lú
bây giờ lúc họ chua đó lúc họ chua lúc nó kia bây chung của nó
thì bây giờ bán nó ta nữa
những gia kia nữa nó
ca kia của nó vậy là chả chế ở thôn năng chị cho nó đi nó
phải nói gì gặp họ chua đó lúc họ chua cho lúc phải nó kia
lúc họ chua cho nó thì chúng nó cái
bên
sai
cái chỗ kia thứ rồi
thì họ chua thì trong đó kia họ chua thì dùng lên nó nên tuổi này cho phong cả cái chua lấy từ tua nó mà tua phong cả cái chua đó thì có dây trong nó nữa thì dùng lên nó thì
có gì nhất phải nó
Tôi nhớ đọc anh đây ok.
Well, look up on the hill. That's our photographer, and she's going to take her picture.
3, 2, 1.
Okay.
bây giờ chỉ tao cũng còn dùng rồi chỉ cũng còn dùng luôn
I think I had 7.
thì dùng lên nó
Okay.
nữa
My name is Chandis. I had a weird name before it was cool to have a weird name, Chandis. But I'm going to be your guide through the cave today. I've always loved caves, and I've been to a lot of caves. I did a lot of cave exploring in my youth, not so much anymore. And I'd like to welcome you here to Fantastic Caverns. Along the way, we have a few low-hanging rock. One of them is right in front of us, right there. There's another one down there just outside, and then that'll be it until we get back to this part of the cave for the exit. Now, couple of things, couple of rules. Number one is we get real close to rocks and cave formations. We would like to ask that you please do not reach out and touch the cave. Okay. Second thing, when I stop, stay in the tram. Don't get out and wander around. Take pictures. This is a good place to take videos too as we drive slowly through the cave. Oh, you will get dripped on at some point. Has anybody been dripped on yet? Yeah, you have. Okay. Well,
vậy cô rong bộ cơ nên để phải chua nó đó chỉ tuần gà ý rồi nó chỉ như kỳ trở theo gà lúc họ chua nó chỉ bé cho trò đồ là nữa
cái lúc họ chua nó bé lâu lần bé đó chồng
when this kid in the Jeep hollers out, ouch. You have one job. Holler out, ouch.
thì sao nào nó không đại bây giờ họ chua á nó lựa chọn bé lựa chọn thế cả họ chua nữa bé một họ chua nữa
thì tôi tê chân nó tôi tê nói chị ô cô giờ có một xã chị cô
chị riêng chị chua
Here's number 2.
giờ nó còn có một nó nữa thì giờ nó nữa
chị riêng chị chua mỗi tuần chua nhất bị luôn
trong này nó nữa giờ có giờ muốn chỉ khó chua sư đồ sáng đồ tỷ u nó chỉ sự to đồ tê tê cho nó nữa
Most of the time as we go along, I'm going to talk about the science of the cave, explain what you're looking at, how it came to be, and so on. Over the years, we've had quite a bit of science research done in here. For being a privately owned cave, we've probably had more than any other cave in the country. Right now, we've got a scientific study going on evaporation. You'll see a little cage that has a dish that has water in it over here on the other side of the Jeep. There's 10 of these along the way. And we're concerned about evaporation in the cave. For years, when we got busy in the summer, we left the doors open a lot.
Để cho nó đi
That
đến
allowed a
chừng
lot
có
of
dây
air
đó
movement through the cave.
chừng có dây
And
nhá
one
để
of the
không có dây đâu
scientists
nó
who
rất
worked
bể
here
rồi
said,
lấy tụi
have you
chua
ever
nè
considered that you might be drying out the formations because of that? So the formations around the entrance and exit, we became concerned about. And we developed this way to study evaporation in the cave. So does evaporation happen differently in different parts of the cave, during different times of the year? Things like that, we're going to find out. And we are about in year 9 of this. I think it's almost over. So when you see these little cages, that's what's going on. Behind me here, we have the remains of an old garden that dates back to the 1930s and the Great Depression. The folks that owned the cave were having a hard time making ends meet, so they built several big gardens down here in the cave.
How does that work?
Yeah, do you see a problem with this plan? So what can you grow in a cave? What? Mushrooms. Last week somebody said marijuana. Mushrooms. They grew those little button top mushrooms and sold them at area markets. This little patch of ground,
Nó trên là
no
phố
cave
thôi à?
owner has
Nó
touched
kia
since the 1930s.
Nó có
For us,
lấy
this
thuốc
is
có
what we call sacred ground. We just don't want to touch it. Yeah. Let me introduce you to the 4 basic cave formations. Number 1, everybody's favorite, coming down from the ceiling and hanging on tight are what we call stalactites. Stalactites hang on tight. Now look behind us back in there. Number 2, growing up from the ground with all their might are stalagmites. Number 3 is when they grow together from floor to ceiling. That's called a column. And number 4 is called flowstone. Opposite me, back over in there, you can see the water just kind of float across the ground, or down an incline, or down a hall, something like that. That's flowstone. There are other kinds of formations, but they all fit into those 4 categories. For instance, right above your heads, and you're welcome to use the flashlight on your phone if you want. Right above your heads are little nubbins on the ceiling that we call soda straws. And they are hollow in the middle, just like a soda straw. They are baby stalactites. Just getting started. But we're going to go on up ahead. Up next, we're going to talk about how they grow. You know, every cave you go to is a little bit different. This particular cave, let me back up a little bit. Whenever I go visit a cave, I always enjoy looking at the way the water shaped the passageways, and the rooms, and so on. formed along joint lines in the rock. Mark Twain Cave up in Hannibal and Bluff Dwellers Cave over in southwest Missouri was formed along joint lines. This cave was formed by an underground river that just kind of snaked its way through the rocks. We're simply driving up an old riverbed here. It's as simple as that. It was very easy to make this a ride-through cave trip. And we happen to be the best one in North America, because we're the only one. There's one in France, one in Barbados, and one down in the Caribbean on the island of Barbados. We're the only one in the U.S. that you can ride through. So, let's talk about how formations grow. These layers of limestone are made up of a gazillion little fossils that move for reef. At one time, this was the bottom of the seafloor that later on in time got pushed up. The little creatures that lived in the sea, as they died, their bodies settled to the seafloor as sediment, layer upon layer upon layer. The most unique fossil that we have in here is shark's teeth from a very early shark back when they began. And there's no doubt about a shark's tooth. A shark's tooth is a shark's tooth. Except these are black. When they become fossilized, they became black. And that's how we determine this particular layer of limestone. So, between then and now, there was this thing called the Great Ozark Uplift that pushed the Ozark Dome up into the air. The Ozarks are basically an erosion feature. Erosion caused the valleys, leaving behind the ridges, the hilltops, and the plateaus. Right now, we are under the Springfield Plateau. Okay? Now, come forward to today. When it rains outside, some of the water runs off. Some of the water seeps down into the ground. Limestone is water permeable, which means water can make its way through it very slowly. And when it reaches the cave ceiling, some of the water will drip down, forming stalagmites. Now, when the water evaporates, it leaves behind molecules of calcium that the water picked up on the way down, called calcium carbonate. When the water evaporates, leaves that stuff behind, time passes. Eventually, these molecules get together. They begin to arrange themselves and bond, forming crystals. It's called calcite. All of these formations are made up of calcite crystals of calcium. Okay? Now that's how they grow. Let's talk about how slow they grow. If you look right here, you'll see a drip going on. Every drop of water coming down has some of that calcium carbonate in the water. So that one up there and this one down here are growing faster than other cave formations because of the constant dripping. All year round, during dry times too, don't get a drip going on here. This stalagmite is wet all year round. Now, how fast is it growing? If you were to come back in 100 years, this stalagmite would have grown the equivalent of about 2 layers of paint. That's it. The average cave formation grows at the rate of about 1 layer of paint every 100 years. Some of them grow super fast. We'll see some of those on the way out here. Some of them grow super slow. Some of them in the back of the cave